In this video, I want to talk about a very important topic, and that is the importance of repetition. Now, whenever I teach my students a principle or a concept, I notice that they sometimes understand it from a high level. They really understand the principle, but then they don't apply that principle. And that reminds me of when I was a student or whenever I'm trying to learn something new these days. And the reason being is that it's not fully absorbed as a concept yet. You haven't really experienced it yet, so it's not in your unconscious mind. And I don't want to make this video sound like rah-rah talk or anything, but it's really important to understand that in order for you to really understand a principle, you have to learn it with your conscious mind, which is you logically understanding that principle. But there's also a level of experience, and there's also a unconscious level, which is essentially going to enable you to really absorb that piece of knowledge, and it's going to feel real, meaning that you know that when you're going to apply that principle, you're going to really achieve that result. It's not going to be something that yeah, someone told me that it's going to work, but I'm not 100% sure about it. No, like it's actually going to be a case where you know that you're going to achieve that result. And you cannot get to that stage if you don't practice, repeat the lessons, repeat the principles, and experience them firsthand. And that's why I'm a big fan of saying to my students that they should get work experience as soon as they can, even if it's a small job, a small project, but the work experience is going to basically glue up all of the knowledge and all of the experiences which I'm sharing with them, and essentially it's going to speed up their learning curve by a whole lot. And again, the reason for all of this is that I can teach you something, I can tell you something which worked for me in the past, but until you experience it, you're not going to really absorb it 100%. And that's also one of the reasons why I always recommend my students to rewatch the courses many times, because the more you hear it, the more obvious, and that just that process of repetition is going to kick in, and the higher the chance that your also unconscious mind is going to absorb something. And this is something which I really didn't focus or pay much attention to when I first was a student. I thought that as long as I memorized something the first time, it's going to be it. But the more I grow older, the better I understand this principle of repetition, and also revising the basics all of the time. Like when I was younger, I always tried to look for the tips and tricks, and yes, there's a place for that, but it's always going to be important to revise the basic principles, universal principles which are evergreen, which are always going to work, and just consolidate them with experience, and then just repeat them, and repeat them, and make it a habit to actually go ahead and do some design every day. Try and if you're looking for clients, do some outreach each and every single day. Just that momentum is going to grow, and it's going to be easier to absorb new lessons, to speed up your learning, and to achieve your goals in a faster and efficient way. And this is actually a very same principle as going to the gym. Now, you wouldn't just buy a quick get ripped course and expect you to, just eat a magic food and you're going to have six-pack abs in a week. That's likely not going to happen, right? And the same principle is going to apply with the gym. So if you go to the gym once, it's going to be good, but if you go maybe 5 times a week for a couple of months, you're going to have like much better results, and that momentum is going to keep carrying on, and during the last months it's actually going to be easier than the first months. And the same is true with design. At the beginning, some things are kind of a struggle, but you really adapt, and everything becomes so much easier as time goes by. even tackling larger projects, which is something which I didn't really realize when I first was a student. I thought that it would have been that tackling larger projects would have been hard forever, but nowadays I can see the patterns. I've already been there and done that so many times that I just see things faster, and I can accomplish the same things in just a fraction of the time that it used to take. And it's not because I'm special or gifted or anything of that. The same is going to apply to you as long as you keep going at it and you practice each and every day, and you repeat the principles which you know are proven to work, and you get that work experience as soon as you can, and just keep going one step at a time. I think that progress is always adding up, that 0.0001% progress each and every day. And then after a couple months, after a couple of years, you look back and you're like, whoa, that 0.0001% really added up each and every day. And you can accomplish a lot of things in life just by using this principle. This doesn't necessarily need to just apply to design, but in our case it's very, very relevant. So just keep going at it, and never give up. Just continue to repeat the principles which you know are going to work, and keep designing, keep doing things that are going to help you out in the long run, and you can definitely achieve more than you can imagine.